exposure, but he's the #1 clearance ruckman in the competition. He's got 7 more than the next best in Ivan Maric from Richmond. So he's having a good year. They need their forward line to capitalise on that, the Blues. They're getting first use out of the middle, getting it into their forward line. They need to be able to lock it in there and at least create some secondary stoppages inside forward 50. They're getting first hands on it. That's a positive they can really work with tonight, Dennis.
Thank you, Richard. Down on the boundary, pretty cool outside, but lovely in here at Etihad by comparison. Geelong have won 13 straight against Carlton at Etihad Stadium, so if it wasn't tough enough already, if you believe in history, then suddenly it gets tougher. Last season, Geelong beat Carlton twice, but both those games were close. In round 12 by 5 points and round 21 by 6 points, and that was controversial. Troy Menzel was denied a free kick in the dying moments. But the names read well for Geelong tonight. Some players back, good players too. As we said, Mackie, a first-timer as this up tonight. Unexplored territory for him. This guy's been in pretty good form. The umpires tonight, Dalglish, Stevic and Mollison. Can Carlton register their second victory of the season? Their first on home soil. Stanley and Warnock on the way down. Warnock, Caddy dragged off it, didn't have the football.
Back here.
Caddy with the free kick, plays on immediately. Selwood a fumble uncharacteristically, swings a hand pass out wide. Kelly, Caddy, and now Rivers. Nice looking kick too, finds Clark on the burst, turns around, goes down towards the pocket. Has got the carry? Oh, terrific mark! What courage by a player back in the side tonight. Cade Simpson going with the flight of the footy. Frail, as you can see, by comparison to those men bearing down.
Terrific stuff.
Well, his teammates and his whole club cop it, but Cade Simpson's one bloke who you can never get into. He just puts his body on the line every single week. Terrific player, perfect example of it there.
So Judd to Yaron. And then Yaron with that neat kick. Only had 4 long kicks this year, Yaron, and 48 short kicks prior to tonight. That one to half-forward. Casbolt was the target. Taylor to Murdoch. That's a scrubby kick to fall forward. Now Hawkins gets a reasonable bounce and then just brushes aside. White scrubs it to the forward line. Simpson down low. Now Caddy and also Lang. Ball not out. Ball up, I think.
Bruce, couple of matchups. You've got Selwood has Curnow. That'll be a hard tag, Curnow on Selwood. And Simon White has that tough job on Hawkins. We heard Nick talking about the trouble they had finding a matchup during the week.
One down by Blixarves. Rowe went to ground, Armfield surrounded by cats, down he goes.
Looks like Everett is actually running with Blixarves, so we talked about him before the game and what an impact he's having. He's being tagged.
Got to stop him going third man up at these stoppages. Blixarves had a big influence.
Tutt in trouble, holding the ball. Oh, gee. Hawkins wins a free kick, but he's slow to get up, the big fella. So Warnock, a late inclusion, is leading the ruck now. More surprised, Doug?
Well, no. Not only was that holding the ball, but he ragdolled him. I mean, that is the type of tackle that can really hurt someone.
I wouldn't want Tom Hawkins landing on me in a tackle. He's a big boy.
Certainly wouldn't. Boy, was that aggressive.
No score as yet. But that about to change. Hawkins kicks from 30, straight through the middle.
And you have a look at there, that's where the Blues have really struggled this year. Look at that, the uncontested possessions. They win the ball on the inside, they win the stoppages, they just can't get it on the outside.
They're pretty good in the middle, aren't they?
They are.
Around the congestion.
Oh, they're very good. Just don't get any run after that.
So Warnock just wins it down. Cats get the opening goal for the 6th consecutive match this season.
No genuine effort.
So against Gibbs, so Stokes. Kelly. Remarkable that he's playing in a way, isn't it? After the ruptured testicle, but back after just a couple of weeks, so an incredible comeback. Kirsten to wind it up. Blixarves almost. Jeez, he has become a weapon, hasn't he, everywhere? The man now being tagged.
Well, here's the free kick. Wyatt was paid. Just right of screen, just off the ball, in the back of Matt Stokes there. Why the Geelong got the free kick and the advantage.
Mitchell did well, didn't he?
Yep. Murphy out wide, sharked. Knock from Blixarves. Yaron comes down the boundary. Good grab.
Let's come back.
Full tilt Jones. Not easy, that one. So he's back in the side. A reprieve and another chance to make a first impression. He's back inside the defensive 50. Here's Rowe. Tutt. Drives it towards the wing. Just drifting into space, Simpson. Motlop stayed off him. Now Simpson with a lot of time. Kelly stays off him. Simpson measures a hand pass. Arnfield in trouble, though. Didn't make the most of it. Wood couldn't control it. It goes out of bounds.
Just had to kick the ball, first option. I mean, the forwards led. He took the extra bounce, and all of a sudden they were out of position. Geelong were able to get numbers back. So poor decision by Simpson on that occasion.
Wood and Stanley. Guthrie roving it well to Lang. Having a good season. Second season. The Cats. Hawkins with that opening goal. Tries to brush away Rowe, but he's just so strong, isn't he? Clark's handball good. Guthrie in a scoring position. I think he's got it. He has.
Well, this is what I love to see from Mitch Clark and Tom Hawkins. Strength in the contest from Hawkins to get the handball free, but then Mitch Clark, just a little touch to give to the running Guthrie. Clever play by both the key forwards to stay strong and get the hands away and release a teammate.
Cripps in trouble, taken down. Doherty. Johnson got him. Doherty continues. Curnow did well. Simpson been active. Warnock with a job to do there at his feet. Not ideal. Dragged down. That's Gregson, I think. Had to make him out under there. No, in fact, it was Kirsten who applied the tackle. A lot of weight on top. Stanley reaching over the top. Warnock won it down. Stokes. Everett was waiting. Lang, nowhere to go.
One thing Mick Moldhouse wouldn't like at the moment, that was the first tackle laid by the Blues in that little scrimmage there. Got to be doing that. That's one thing you can do.
Yeah, it's not good, is it, Richo? 5 minutes into a game to be having your first tackle. Not good enough.
So Everett swings a good handball to Bell. Bell was touched off the boot, heard the umpire. Wood did well there, just got rid of Rivers. Little give in the pocket, Thomas across the face. And Carlton with their first shot on goal. It'll be a boundary throw in. So Thomas starting forward 50 here. Curnow, terrific game last week with a job on Selwood. No surprise there.
No surprise at all. Curnow very good last week. Another bloke who can hold his head up high each week. Important job on the Cat skipper.
Tossed in, Warnock down to Thomas. Under pressure, snaps back across the body and puts it through for a minor score. Ed Curnow, a rookie draft selection for Adelaide back in 2008. Game number 74 tonight.
His brother might be a bit different, Dan. I think he's looking at maybe a top 10 first-round draft pick. So a bit of talent in that family. Charlie Curnow coming through the Geelong Falcons at the moment, part of the AFL Academy.
Ed's got the runs on the board. Thurlow kicks outside the defensive 50. Guthrie did brilliantly against quality opposition. Rivers thought about it, doesn't give it off. Now he does. Cruising up is Lonergan. He's in right half back. He kicks towards half forward. Kirsten in front, lurking behind is Hawkins. Strength again. Centering kick. Going back is Murdoch. The distance, I doubt, will be a problem from here. He's a sweeping kick. Although he's come back quickly, indicating perhaps he wants a lead.
Back in from here, Dan. He's a beautiful kick of the football. Big roost.
So the margin currently at 11. Murdoch. It'll need to come back, and it does. He knows his own kick. Just sneaks it home. 17 points the margin.
Well, we've seen Tom Hawkins do this time and time again, but look at that. That's just sheer brute strength to push off Yaron with the one hand, get his boot to it to get to Murdoch.
So the Cats with the fast start. Carlton, well, the worst possible start considering what's happened over the last 3 weeks of footy.
He's been a big reason, Hawkins, for Geelong starting fast. He's had big first quarters, hasn't he? Really sets the side up in that first quarter.
That Collingwood game, that one stands out in my memory. Just really dominated.
Eye contact, Geelong.
He's yet to have a really big match, though, isn't he? I mean, you feel like tonight he could get a bag. 3's his biggest so far this season. That kick over the top, Tui and Kirsten. And that out of play.
I don't like that kick, Bruce. I hate that kick from any team where you get a free kick in the middle and you go sideways to a bloke who's either got a man on him, can't play on, under a bit of pressure. Get it in long and deep. Give your forwards a chance.
So Blitzarf again, the third man out. Carlton with Curno's little scrubby.
Armfield controlled it well. Murphy demands it. Runs down towards half forward. High ball, dangerous one for Lonigan. Jones stayed on his feet, tracks it back towards the boundary. Cripps couldn't align himself properly, and Sockers are behind.
Here are the boys running off, and
Bit of fun and games.
I think Joel likes taggers too much, does he?
So Judd, the recipient after that poor kick coming out from the Cats, but nothing much has gone wrong for them so far. Judd's kick just too tall there for Casbolt. Good hands by Cripps. Now Thomas has had 3 shots on goal in the opening term and kicked a second behind, so he's getting a bit of a daisy, but not being able to just finish the job so far. They need a lot, don't they? But they need a goal right now.
As Thurlow runs to the pocket, drives it around the outer side wing. Blitzarf's got in front, favoured by the bounce, worked out okay. Taylor, Stokes pushing past, kicks inside the forward 50. Problems here. Going back looking for the body, low lost contact, and then he was done. Clark's taken the mark.
Well, that's the trouble when there's no pressure through the midfield. Matt Stokes was able to bring it through. Nobody pressuring him at all. That Cats forward line is just too big, too strong and too dangerous. Mitch Clark could manoeuvre Sam Rowe any way he liked him, took him back to the goal square and then came back up at it. They need to put the pressure on the middle with the kick coming in.
Clark, 11 goals for this season, goalless last week. Steps inside the 50. Kick is on the way. More bad news for Carlton.
Been good on the set shots tonight, the Cats early on. Oh, this will be interesting. What's Stevie Motlop's favourite?
Home Alone.
What?
Macaulay Culkin.
He must have liked that when he was a kid, surely.
I had to watch it recently, Lee. It's still pretty good. Here's Selwood's kick. Inside the forward 50. Good mark, Doherty.
He's having a great year, Doherty. That was a courageous mark.
And a good kick coming out to Simpson.
Another good mark by Simpson.
Push for a kick. Let it go. Stop.
So he held the mark. Free kick paid.
It was a free kick paid, but gee, that's a strong grab as well by Cade Simpson.
So Selwood cuts it off in front of Tutt. Kelly gets it back from Taylor to Lonigan. First time we've called Johnson. Got it scrubbed away from him. Tutt's poor kick forward, but he's under pressure. Caddy, Lonigan. Been able to bring the ball out so easy from half-back so far. Gee, Simpson's had a good first quarter. 3 really strong grabs. I know the other one's probably officially a free kick, but it was a mark.
Admirable player. Cade Simpson, best and fairest season before last, I think. From memory.
He really makes a statement with his attack on the footy, doesn't he? I mean, and he has already in this first quarter. That's what we want from the likes of Bryce Gibbs. Bryce Gibbs has probably got more talent, and we want to see him attack the footy like Cade Simpson.
Doherty got it from Murphy, finds Tui. Tui along the boundary line. The mark is taken by Wood. Feeds it inside. Curnow with a bit of space. Kicks inside the forward 50. It's 3-on-2. Knocked down in front by Stanley. Arriving quickly as Gibbs. Mark is taken 12 metres out by Menzel. So Menzel should go back and kick the goal.
Well, an important touch by Gibbs, wasn't it? And it was a front and square. That's exactly what you want him to do. Get the ball, win it at a stoppage, and then it was smart. Usually just pulled that kick a little bit. Very, very clever. We know that he can do that. We know he's capable of doing that.
Saw the numbers before the game on Gibbs. They haven't changed much from last season when he won the best and fairest, but
just less impact.
That's right. That's right. That's the point you made, Wayne. So Menzel to reduce the margin. It's back to 15.
game never lets up. Recovery is crucial to deliver explosive power and elite performance, again and again.
Swiss Ulti-Boost Magnesium Range. Premium quality formulas with ingredients based on scientific evidence. To help reduce muscle cramps and spasms, maintain healthy muscle function and support energy production.
That's why we choose Swiss.
The choice of the Hawks.
So just his 4th game, Menzel. Gibbs was really good there.
Yeah, it was. It's important Bryce Gibbs has an influence. He 6 Brownlow votes last year against the Cats, so he'd feel good coming up against Geelong. He needs to impact this game. Good to see Troy Menzel get an early shot at goal and kick a goal there, but Geelong free kick out of the middle.
Back, push out. Thank you.
Okay, so Clark gets the free kick. Not only 6 Brownlow votes, he's 6 goals as well in those 2 games, 4 and 2. So I'd love something like that from him tonight. So he's not quite home alone at the moment, Motlop, as he goes back to Kelly, and then Kelly to full forward. Stokes did well there. He held up Doherty, and Johnson was able to drift in.
Just looked as if he got a little bit lost there, Tui. Stevie J had his eyes for the footy. Tui just didn't go when he should have.
So
Steve's got to cut this out, doesn't he, really?
nothing simple with Stevie, but he kicks the goal. So they have a miss from the set shot.
He does practice that shot at goal a lot. This is the free kick back in the middle. So Warnock basically taking his eyes off the ball. I reckon a bit unlucky there. That was just a fair ruck contest. Just have a look at the bottom of your screen here. Tui on Stevie J. Stevie consistently moving, but then Tui has to go with Johnson there.
He got lost, didn't he?
Yeah, he got lost. He's got to go, got to fly. If your opponent flies, you've got to go with him. Stevie just timed the run across the front. Simple, uncontested mark, that close to goal. That wouldn't please coaches too often.
The mistake he made was he took his eyes off the ball. You've got to watch the flight of the ball coming in, and he didn't do that. Stevie J just judged it better.
5 goal kickers for the Cats already. On the way down, Warnock to Gibbs. Breaks free. Simpson feigns a hand pass. Goes with the right foot. Well played. Cripps. Curnow running hard alongside. Goes looking for Wood wide of the mark. This will test him. Rivers over the football. Wood bearing down. Tutt comes in and steals the footy, and Buse just pushes across the line.
Just on that point that Wayne made there, as soon as the defender looks at the forward, if you're the forward, you think, how good sis. You love it when the defenders are watching you and not the footy, don't you, Wayne?
Yep, you sure do.
Warnock probably just won the tap. Touch kick forward, cut off. Murdoch a goal scorer tonight. Johnson, by the way, went past Lindsay White there as the number 4 on the all-time goal. It's a free kick to Selwood.
50 metres from where you are, Jeff.
Yeah, just off the ball. It was what we've been watching so far in this first quarter. Curnow and Selwood going at each other. Curnow just got him a little bit high, making sure he couldn't lead, and 50 metres to the Cats. That'll be a very close matchup the whole evening, I think.
I think Joel will come off with a cut above his eye at some point.
It's been fiery already, hasn't it? So Murdoch, clever kick. And Gregson takes an uncontested mark. Your Johnson now 4th on the all-time list, went past Lindsay White. Just 3 big names in front of him now. Ablett, Brownless and Wade in between those two.
He'd love to get Brownless too, Bruce.
He's close enough, isn't he, to get Billy?
He'd remind Billy about that one all the time.
So he's 4:30. Is Billy about 4:49 or something like that? 4:41 Billy is, so and he's 4:30 now. He'll get him. Well, Gregson's got a long way to get to there, but he's been so good in the last couple of weeks, and they can't miss from the set shots. So the Cats get 6 goals in the opening term.
Well, this is some of the action that we've been talking about going on off the ball. We're going to have a look at it in a second as the ball comes back to the middle. Selwood v Curnow. Curnow just trying to make sure he blocks his run. That's heading to the bench, by the way. That's not even for a contest. Curnow really close checking. He knows how important the Cats skipper is to this Geelong team. He's got a big job to do. He does it every single week, trying his absolute hardest, but just giving away the odd free kick. He's got to be careful he doesn't end up giving away too many. But so far, doing a good job, Ed Curnow.
6 goals in 19 minutes from the Cats, similar to what we saw against Collingwood a fortnight back on Friday Night Football. Now the ruckman touched the footy. Stanley did eventually. Stokes finds a way out of there. Virtually no pressure on, really. This is Simpson across half back, drives it out towards the wing. Doherty. In all of this, he's stood tall. Just forward of right half back. Nothing much on offer. Casbolt. Ball goes in that direction. Levi hangs off the pack and almost took a hanger. Close to the boundary line. Woods ushered across by Taylor. And will have a boundary throw in. Good and bad news, of course, for Mick. He's outlasted Letterman. But even a top 10 wouldn't help.
That was big Letterman going this week, wasn't it?
It was. Not about Boydman, Bruce.
Warnock, Yaron to Gibbs. And Gibbs kept the ball in. He knew that he was on the wrong angle with a big kick. Johnson, slick. Stokes, back turn. Well done, Doherty. Back to Johnson. Johnson with that vision. Brilliant kick. It was dangerous, but brilliant. Guthrie, a couple of times now, has taken a good mark against Judd. Then Guthrie, good kick. Geelong are really going well here. Blitzarves gets it from Lang. Kicks to full forward. Hawkins was lurking at the back. Good fist away. White and also Rowe involved. And Bell there with Kelly in a boundary throw-in. So here's Johnson.
Courageous kick, wasn't it? Back into the middle as a 50-50, but Guthrie was good enough to take the mark. What I've liked about Stevie so far is giving it the first option.
Yep.
No trick bag tonight.
Yes.
I like it.
Margin 27 points. Here's Kelly. Good to see him back out against the boundary line. This one just stays in. Clark comes at it with conviction. Missed the footy, though. Working behind Gregson. Was he legged? Hand passes from the ground. Blitzarves, so nimble for a big fellow. Feeds it back Stanley. Not quite as nimble. Enright, left behind by Murphy. Enright comes again. Gets a hand pass across to Taylor. Taylor under pressure. Yaron stands underneath and takes the mark.
Well done, Chris Yaron, standing under that one. That is a horrible feeling when it's a long, high ball into the forward 50 and you think the pack's coming. He stood well. He stood his ground very well.
You'd want a GPS to find out where Hawkins was, wouldn't you?
And Clark.
But no, well done to him. Arnfield with a run and bounce. Short to Casbolt. Number 1 in contested marks for the season. Down the line, Warnock. Strange decision that Warnock came in. I know you talked about it earlier tonight on the countdown, that Warnock was the replacement for Carato when I guess Ellard and Graham were the other two emergencies.
It's not like for like, is it? They did the same thing a couple of weeks ago with Jamison when Warnock came into the side.
Because Wood is a workhorse, I think, don't you?
Yep.
So, Cripps to Curnow. Kelly to cut it off. Back.
Especially when it's been their outside run that has been a problem. I don't think Warnock's going to give you too much of that. So that's why it's a big surprise for everyone.
Kelly hugs the boundary line. Oh, terrific strength. Hawkins held his opponent at bay and then lunged for the football on the wing. So are the Cats right now. Carlton falling off the pace. Need to be careful. Menzel thumps it out of bounds. Still just under 5 minutes remaining till quarter time.
Mick did tell us before the game that on Monday they had Michael Jamison playing on Hawkins. On Tuesday they had Lockie Henderson playing on Hawkins. Neither of them playing. It's Simon White who's got the job, and Hawkins just too strong at the moment for him.
Blitzarves roving the pack. Gregson. Now Taylor on his natural kicking foot lines up. Long ball downwards, full forward, in from the side. Clark almost. Johnson waiting in front. Well done by Yaron. Didn't fall into his back. We've got a whistle, I think, and a ball up.
Holding the ball.
Oh, no, we don't.
Carlton, you dived on it, Matt. You dived on the ball. Holding
Against
the ball.
White. Well, Yaron was perfect in this. See him fall to the side there. Well, that's a real harsh call because White was beaten to the punch. Oh, it's White's free kick.
And it's a terrible kick coming out. Murdoch may make him pay. No, he's sprayed it, and he had a couple of blokes wanting a handball or a short kick at the top of the square.
Yeah, a couple of blokes, Tom Hawkins in particular, being strong with him, even though it's been a good start by Geelong. They'd just be telling him, come on, Jordan, do the right thing, play the basics, get that one to the top of the square.
Simpson flew high.
You really jumped. You haven't even got to the ball.
So Enright closing in on 300.
Yeah, a little bit early, Simpson.
So banging back to full forward, and Rowe takes an easy mark. So not much method there for the Cats. Rose short.
Oh,
Mengsel, the goal scorer. Involved in one of the big incidents last year where the free kick wasn't paid for the Blues. Late in the match, Stanley's handball good. Lang's had a fair bit of it. Looked up, clever kick. Caddy, well done though by Murphy getting across. Jard Murphy was on the back foot and then comes out wide. Pretty good kick actually, should be all right for Doherty. Warnock did well, just got in the road of Clark, and then Doherty's kick down the line. Now, can Casbolt turn Taylor here? No, boundary throw in.
An area Carlton have been ordinary in is the clearances tonight. They're -6 in this first quarter, and that was something coming into the game that they've actually been really good at this year, so that's a real disappointment.
Counts by 27 points, Stanley. Hooks it down behind. Blixarms again, knock it forward. Stokes across to Guthrie. Guthrie. This one will bounce inside the centre square. Ample time, though, and they'll work it forward now. Kirsten just laid it off. Guthrie runs on. Long kick. Getting back is Rowe. Marks a metre off the line.
This will be a point, Dennis. Sam Rowe took the mark. Have a listen.
He played on through the behinds. He went through the other line.
He's just learned another rule, hasn't he?
Yep. It was just a split-second thing. He just played on, as the umpire said, went through the behinds instead of back through the goals. And that is a point, but it's a fiddly one, that one.
Do you think we should change that rule?
Oh, I don't know. They keep changing rules, Bruce. I like to leave them the same for a while.
Doherty. Thomas and Buse.
It's a fairly simple one. If you mark the ball in between there, you come back the same way. I think you just might have had a little mental lapse there, Bruce.
He was in a hurry, wanting to get the ball on. Everett to Gibbs. And then Gibbs, he's got a good long leg.
Blixarms reaches over the top, thumps it away. Taken by Everett. Well done, Casbolt. Tuthouse to White, bearing down end right, played it pretty well, hit him hard. Jones diving in, Murdoch knocked it across to Lonergan. Blixarms again. What a player he's become. Blixarms goes forward, Murdoch, end right. Well, he's caught, the veteran, trying to give it back to Murdoch, stolen away by Simpson. Quick to take advantage, goes to Wood. Wood down towards half forward. Oh, well done. Danced around an opponent, kicks inside the forward 50. Thomas, who's had a few shots tonight, and this is the best of them. Snaps a goal.
Mark's back here.
Don't see this too often.
Your kick now, go back and take it.
It's going to be a 2-goal play. This one counts, I'm sure. Did we hear the all clear? Did they wave the flag?
It definitely
They must
counted.
have, yes.
And now, before it went back to the centre, Joel Selwood's given away a free kick on Ed Kerner. We don't know exactly what for yet, but he's got a shot at goal about 30 out straight in front.
I'm pretty sure we know what it's for. He's being scragged, he's being pushed, he's being punched, he's being pulled.
What a great result for the Blues then. Kerno, 2 kicks. Oh, 1-1. Still, you take that. And the ball is down your end as well. Mick can't believe it. I love that goal.
7-point play then.
Yes, enjoy that. Although that's an unusual variation, isn't it?
It's really important that the Geelong players get behind their captain. We know he's a tough player, but he does need support. When you've got a player that his whole purpose is just to watch you. He's not even watching the footy. His whole purpose is to stop the captain. Give him some support.
Yep.
So Stokes. Thurlow. Slick mover, Thurlow. Oh, what a mark, Blitzars. Oh, he and Thurlow.
Mark's back here.
I mean, Blitzars particularly, but Thurlow's also emerging this year, but Blitzar's an absolute weapon. To fall forward, Rowe did well. Johnson had to wait. Warnock's hands not great. Gregson, now Johnson will launch himself. Well done, though, by White. Johnson in late. It's had an interrupted season, White, like a few of his teammates, but every club's got that, we know. Tui, he's had no injuries for a while. He's on a long sequence of consecutive matches. That's a poorish kick. Missed by Taylor. Gets a second crack.
Here. Carl's Geelong free kick. Get a shoot.
And Chris Yaron, who's giving away a few free kicks. So just a little slap in the gob, eh? So there it is at quarter time. I reckon the Blues are probably closer than they deserve to be in some ways. It's 37-16, but they've had 5 scoring shots to 7. So it's the Cats on a Friday night over the Blues at Etihad. You those memories, Diesel, with his 5 and his Norm Smith and his 30-odd. Here at quarter time on a Friday night, Geelong 7 scoring shots to 6, but they lead it by 37-16 over the Blues.
See every episode, same time as the US. Aquarius, the full season premiere, exclusive to Presto, May 29.
So start your free 30-day trial at presto.com.au for Aquarius, exclusively from May 29. Let's have a look at that free kick just before that double whammy, just before quarter time. We know that Thomas had kicked the goal, and watch Selwood and watch Curnow.
Just behind that goalpost there, Selwood throws him to the ground. That's what the free kick was paid for. There's a bit of that going on throughout the first quarter between those two players. Unfortunately for Carlton, Ed Curnow couldn't finish with the goal to get them the double. Instead, it was just the 7-point play. Everything's fairly even stats-wise at the moment. Carlton are marking the ball, which is something they haven't done. They've had 31 marks in that quarter, on track for 120. Disposals fairly even, contested possessions fairly even. Geelong just nailing the scoreboard, a lot more efficient when they go forward.
So the Cats leaded by 21 points, starting the second term Friday night football. Bounce favours Stanley. Quick whistle. Umpire Dalglish wants it back. Not sure I'd go there and check. Flicks arms. After it goes Murphy. Tuck falling to the ground. It's going to be a free kick back to Murphy, though, against Stokes. Tuck thinks it's his. Murphy's been good. 7th possession coming up. He's been lively. Drives it down towards half forward. Hangs a long time in the air. Rivers came at the football as though he wanted to make it his.
It's a remarkable one-on-one record this year, Rivers. He's been playing well. Stokes used the body cleverly. That's a good match-up with Simpson for the moment there. Selwood trying to run onto it. Tutt's hands good to Bell. And then Bell keeps it low, misses a target or two. Thomas has been lively. 4 shots on goal in that opening term. 1 goal, 2, and one that was tough and missed. Just these early minutes huge, aren't they, for Carlton? They made a little bit of ground at the end.
A couple of interested onlookers there from the Swans.
Yeah, John Blakey and
Johnny Blakey. Yep.
Not that interested. High ball down towards the pocket. Menzel. Terrific. A lot of courage there, going back and juggling the mark. Curnow and Selwood again. Selwood making a point to umpire Dalglish. Meantime,
good grab this by Troy Menzel. We highlighted the fact Zach Tui had to go with Steve Johnson in the first quarter. Corey Enright chose to stay down. He would have wished he could have gone with Menzel there, because when your opponent flies, you've got to fly.
It's very unlike him, wasn't it? He took his eyes off the ball too.
Troy going at his 2nd goal here. This could pull it back to 15 points. Oh, barely gets it behind. That's a bad miss. So it's 20 points the difference. Geelong on top, but as Cam said, the stats show a different story. Straight kicking has been a key for Geelong.
Superb in that opening term in that area. So Thurlow getting close to the line and blitz halves with Everett. Well, this is the big talking point at the moment, Curnow and Selwood.
See all the Geelong players now coming in to give him a helping hand, which is great.
So the 3rd man up that time was Everett. And we get back, I mean, Lingy, you were the master of the tag, but you get back to what's fair and what's not fair.
Yeah, and all this is fair. That's fine. You've just got to play the ball now once the ball hits the ground. What the Geelong players have just got to be a little bit cautious of is going too far out of their way and letting the other Carlton players have an impact.
Here is Selwood getting his hands on the ball and running hard and then kicking poorly. Missing Hawkins, so White quickly releases Yaron. Yaron with that lovely leg of his finds Everett.
Everett on the wing. Yaron, brilliant gather. Full pace, cruises through midfield, searching kick inside the forward 50. Rivers in front, knocks it down only as far as Thomas. To Wood, back to Thomas. Opportunity to kick his second, he does.
Well, here's Chris Yarran. We know how dangerous he is when he gets ahead of steam up and can run with the footy. He's just got to be careful, young Corey Gregson. At the moment, he's getting sucked up the ground a little bit too much towards the stoppages. Yarran just sifts off, and he was able to set the Blues up on that occasion.
Having a good patch, the Blues. Warnock to Murphy to Jones. Well, talked about Jones a lot, Duck. I mean, and he's been a tease and hasn't been able to deliver. He doesn't get a lot of kicks. This is crucial here.
That's a good comment. That's exactly what he's been. He's a good tease, because we know that every now and then he does something that looks special. He took a good solid mark in the first quarter at the start. He's just got to do more of this. He's got to get in front. He's got to attack the footy. Just get his hands on the footy. He's got to get to more contests.
Look at those set shots this year. 4 goals, 8. He needs this goal badly. He's been in and out of the team.
Well, there you go.
It's not a good kick. We go, have a look at this centre bounce. Geelong playing with absolutely no sweeper. Forward hit from Carlton, wide open out of the centre circle, straight inside forward 50. Carlton will be loving that. There's a little patch. Carlton are all over Geelong at the moment.
In from the side, Casbolt pulls in front. Kelly, half chance. Buse slams it into Caddy. No one shouted out 4. The ball goes out wide towards the boundary and bounces out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
They are linking, but you just get the feeling that they're going to have to make the most of their opportunities. Menzel missed that goal. Jones missed that goal. You just have to kick those.
Yep.
Stanley and Warnock lock up. Stanley, Judd, not the right man to hit it to. Menzel clever with the outside of the boot. Not 15. Hand pass comes across from Tutt. Armfield lines it up, slides it right across the front of goal. Casbolt launched himself, took the pack with him. Now Rivers claiming a mark. That was ambitious. Coming away is Enright. Pinpoints the ball to Kelly.
Good kick. I think Rivers may have been the only bloke that touched it, actually, but it was a confusion of so many Blues flying around him. So Geelong on the back foot slightly, even though they've got a good lead on the scoreboard. It's been played in their back half of the minute. Kelly gets it back to Caddy, and then Caddy close to the line. Hawkins, well done, Murphy against Johnson, but Johnson was slick. Hawkins, Murphy getting down pretty low. Hawkins getting involved again. White tapping it back to Tui. Tui trying to get through, did well. White back to Armfield. Armfield to centre wing. Oh, Jones launching. Couldn't quite take the mark. Kelly. Still with Kelly. Kick misses the target. Warnock's got to get down a long, long way. Missed a chance. Thurlow, Stanley. They're not rattled the Cats, but they are definitely on the back foot. Enright, it looks sloppy, but it got exactly where he wanted to get to another great player in Taylor.
Plays on to Enright. Here's Thurlow, an emerging player. Sends it down towards half forward. Now Stanley's got the run of it. He wants it to sit. It won't sit. Now it does belatedly. Lang, open goal beckons, and he steers it home. From one end to the other.
Well, Duck, this is exactly what you're talking about. Carlton had their opportunities. Geelong, only one entry.
Inside.
And straight away, kick a goal. And it just hurts you after all that effort from the Blues.
It does.
Been doing better on the clearances, though, the Blues. And Richo talked about the fact they've been good in that area all year, but not so much in that first quarter. Curnow, Warnock, so again they clear the ball from the centre to full forward. Jones, third man there. Menzel's pretty quick, but so's Murdoch. Well done, Bell. He got rid of Murdoch. He keeps the ball, almost kept it in.
There's a good job being done by Dennis Armfield tonight. Motlop has only had the one handball at this stage. He's going everywhere with him, and Armfield's been able to get 6 touches himself.
So he's certainly not home alone tonight, Motlop,
No, huge job by Armfield. Great start.
So Selwood and Curnow, not the first time they've had a wrestle, but that time they had the ball involved.
You mentioned, Bruce, how well Carlton have gone at the stoppages, the clearances, the contested stuff. They're actually starting to get some uncontested possession too. They're beating Geelong in uncontested possession. So that's an issue that Geelong wants to fix up pretty quickly, because that has not been an area of strength for the Blues.
Cripps wide of the pack. Gibbs beats one man. Back to Cripps, who was stationary. Now he's in trouble. Run down by Stokes, holding the footy. Earlier we saw a situation where There was a bit of pressure on Selwood from Curnow, and Blixarves got involved. Not what Geelong need necessarily, and Cameron made that point. They'll keep doing their job and try and help where they can, but don't go out of their way. Now Kirsten's got it. Good football through midfield from the Cats. Plenty of activity too. Johnson is deep. Kirsten wasn't looking, went wide to Rivers. Johnson still wanting it down towards the forward pocket. Short one goes in that direction. Took something off the kick. Close to the boundary line. Buse keeps it in. Shows some pace. And misses everything, does he? No, he kicks it behind. Just sneaks it through. And again came at pace. The kick on a very sharp angle.
They've been playing that high-risk footy through the middle of the ground, but then they went wide when it was time to go long and direct. They had Stevie J down there, they had Clark down there, so high risk from defence through the middle, but they're not quick enough into their forward 50.
Yeah, Kirsten went wide, didn't he, where he had Johnson on the lead. Poor kick coming out from Tui. Caddy cut it off. He's just going to set it up here, Caddy. Clark and Wood, the Flyers. Menzel. He's had a couple of spectacular things tonight, Menzel. Lang's been good.
Just to go back to that point, if you're going to do a three-quarter kick at the top of the square, why take your time? Do it straight away rather than wait that extra 5 to 10 seconds. It just allows numbers to get back.
Wood won the tap. Guthrie almost the clearance. Judd held up by Hawkins. Clark gets it back to Lang. Lang gets it back. Now Murdoch's in a good spot. He's a left footer. And he's done it. He's kicked a second.
Well, that efficiency that we were talking about with Geelong, it just highlighted again. Fed out the back to Jordan Murdoch. They've only been inside 50 twice this quarter for 2 goals. Carlton just can't buy one up the other end.
127.
Have it again.
Stevic this time. Will throw it up. Blixarves doing the rucking. He's been cast in the role of a ruck driver often tonight. Flicks it down. Selwood's got it. In trouble. Taking to ground. Falls to Wood. Hurried kick inside the forward 50. Going back is Casbolt. Wonderful judgment by Rivers.
He's having a great year.
Yep, best form of his career. Get close to it.
I don't think he's lost a 1-on-1 this year. That's pretty good.
Over the top to Johnson. Tries to square it. Came off. And now Stokes is away. Nice kick. Neat kick. Lang. Selwood on the overlap. Goes inside the forward 50. Will it get to Hawkins? Was it hands in the back? Play on's the call. Tui. Tackle by Kirsten. He's got it. Well, belatedly makes a movement. The umpire very compassionate.
They've made that move too. Rowe has now gone on to Hawkins. A little bit strong in the body. White struggled early.
Gibbs and Caddy. It's like a ball. Caddy gets through, but a wayward kick in the end. Going to be really interesting to see where Caddy's at in a couple of years. High draft pick, same number as Selwood actually at 7. Very good player. Can he make that transition to top class? You felt like Duncan was on that way, didn't you? Before the big injury this year, and a boundary thrown. So poor kick coming out from Simpson. So the Blues made a little bit of a run. Here's the big matchup of the night.
Ed Curnow, to his credit, I know there's been a bit going off the ball. He's kept Joel Selwood only 6 possessions. He'd be happy with that so far.
Judd slings a hand pass out, taken by Bell. Enright tackles him, but not before he got the kick away. Casbolt missed it. Lonigan to Blixarves, ample time. Not a particularly good kick, split the difference. Thurlow down towards half forward. Big leap, Simpson. He's been very good. Shots this one off, wants to go. Armfield, who likes to run, brings it up towards midfield. Tutt cruising past his Doherty. Yaron, the searching run back towards goal. That's a beautiful kick. Well, he accelerated away from Blixarves, our man, who couldn't go with him.
Well, Richo mentioned it before, the impact that Yaron's been having tonight, that run off half-back, getting himself involved, kicking the ball inside 50. This time it was him, top of your screen, just getting out the back of Mark Blixarves. As soon as he was out the back, he used his speed, beautiful kick over the top. And he's such a nice kick of the footy. You'd back him from here, but Carlton have struggled in front of goal. It is catching.
And they need this one. Chris Yaron, kick is on the way, and it's sweet. Straight through the middle.
And you can see the Carlton forward line there, lining up in, well, they were lining up in a straight line, all trying to isolate, as you see Wood lining up at full forward.
Yaron good. Armfield having a very good match as well. So Warnock beats Stanley for that one. Cripps back from injury. Simpson's been excellent. That kick to centre wing. Jones just pushed underneath by Lonergan. Clever bit of play by the defender. Stokes. Pressure on Enright, but he did well, Enright. And now Murdoch, clever, improvising. Well done, Clark, bringing it down. Gregson's quick, so's Yaron. That could be a good race here. Gregson, it sits. Yaron Keats with him. Gregson, ball across the front. White getting back. Has some time now. He's got Murphy inside. He's going to go over the top. Murphy, Lang to close. Murphy uses every second he's got. He wants the boundary line, I think, Murphy. Buse getting out there. Now Buse has got Stanley inside. He gets around from Gibbs and then wobbles the ball. Doesn't really time it, but Hawkins read it best.
Well, that's what I was talking about before. It was Rowe and Hawkins a couple of minutes ago. Rowe had the body strength to go with him. That move has now gone back to White. You can just see there, he's just far too strong. White, once again, took his eyes off the footy.
Well, I think White came off the ground and was actually having some work done. That was the reason that Rowe went on to him. As soon as White came back on, they went straight back to that matchup. But I think Rowe actually did look better on Hawkins, no doubt.
Well, Tom Hawkins could mark that ball uncontested because Ed Curnow didn't want to come off Joel Selwood and help his teammate in the air.
Man, he's missed. It's really the typical Hawkins kick, that one, the one from left to right, isn't it? Slides away.
That's the one as a tagger with Ed Curnow. You've got to forget about your man there and understand that Tom Hawkins has beaten his opponent. You just have to come off, help in the air, forget about the fact that it might spill to your teammate. You've just got to not concede a simple uncontested mark to Tom Hawkins.
Bell got it from Simpson. Plays on now. Sends a high one up towards the wing. Taylor made for Taylor. Comes over the top, knocks it down. Enright had it, lost it. Blick's arms. Well, too quick. Missed Murdoch, intercepted by Murphy. Off the ball, Murphy was held. Curnow, little 1-2 there with Bell. Bell on the end of this hand pass now from Thomas. Judd running out of space and time. Lonergan, good chase there from Taylor. Now it's with Selwood, who will broaden things. Goes across the ground to Kelly. Short to Johnson. Next kick pretty important. Johnson gets onto this one out wide. Running hard out there is Stokes and finds the footy. 45 metres from goal. Goes looking for Hawkins, and Hawkins takes the mark directly in front. Terrific build-up.
Yeah, great build-up. You called it, Dan. Matty Stokes has been so important since he's come back into this team the last 2 weeks. 12 possessions so far tonight. It was just constant pressure by the Cats. Created the turnover. And then away they went on the open side of the ground. And as you called, Dan, some hard running by Matty Stokes to get on the end of it. And looked inside the tomahawk.
So Big Tom's going for his second here. Didn't play last week against Sydney. Kick is on the way. And this one is out to the right. So now it's the Cats' turn to miss some valuable goals.
He's had not quite Travis Cloke problems over the years, but he can be hit or miss, and we're seeing the miss tonight. That one that just slides away to the right. So now Carlton getting some relief for some missed shots, because that was their problem in the early part of this quarter. Tui taking them on, getting away from Caddy. Hard kick to centre wing. Rivers been so good this year. Gibbs over the top. Everett. Now can he find Jones? It's a real one-on-one in the pocket. Lonergan, Jones, can't fall over. That's the most... Did well, Jones. Tutt gets the goal. Well played. A couple of doggies together, eh?
Well, this was obviously the end result, but what I loved, it was Tui off half-back. It was that run. He took his player on. He created run from that position, and what that creates is it creates space.
Well, Tommy Lonergan was waiting for the cavalry. It never turned up. Wide of the pack, Blick's arms, trying to go to Caddy. Caddy knocks it to his own advantage. Now hooks it down towards half forward. Gregson leads back in the race. Got a bad bounce with poise. Yaron, terrible kick though. Straight to Johnson. Terrible hand pass. Cripps, Warnock, Gibbs, only his 7th possession. Here's Tutt, who got that last goal. Short one. Murphy towards half forward. Casbolt will mark it. He's got sure hands close to the boundary line. Too far out to score, obviously. Sends it long down towards full forward. Enright and Thomason from the side. Lonigan. Good mark. In the pocket, Lang wants it. Nothing much up ahead. Guthrie runs hard for him. Goes in that direction, and Guthrie gets it right half back.
It's been very good, Lang. So's Guthrie. Scored a fantastic running goal in the opening term. Lonigan has time. Oh, brilliant there by Hawkins. He's been supreme, actually. Just the one goal, but it's been a lot better than that. That kick just giving Blitzarves a bit of a task, and Everett did a good job.
I actually thought Tom Hawkins had been outbodied by Simon White for a fraction of a second, but
have a look at this. If you're the tallest player on the ground now, Kenwood was running back to that contest. He was there way early. He's got to compete there. Just didn't compete at all. Not good enough.
So Warnock over the top. Curnow, Selwood, and Blitzarves.
Straight up now. Straight up, please, Mark. Thank you. Next, Robbie. Mark, straight up. Robbie.
Bit of forensic in there, I reckon. Don't be some forensic work going on in there right now, I reckon.
Justin for Prince. Blitzarves did well. Got it down to Caddy. This one floats inside the forward 50, and that was a very good mark again. Wonderful judgment. Contorting in midair there, Simpson.
He's been good tonight.
7 marks, 14 possessions now. Carlton bring it out again. Armfield gets on the end of this one. Cruising past is Murphy. Can't go to him now. Cuts back inboard. Poor kick though. Blitzarves taking the mark, and they can move it quickly here, the Cats, if they could possibly find some space. Kirsten ran himself into a dead end, but still did well enough. Johnson, though, should have taken the mark. Armfield thought he had far too long, and he's been penalised for holding it. Now, there may have been an element of push in the back there as well, but, gee, Armfield just unaware of what was going on around him.
The Cats have averaged 8 tackles inside 50. As we have another look at the tackle, he probably played for it. That was holding the ball, I think. They've averaged 8. They've had 9 already tonight. So, really switched on in that area.
Murdoch gets his 3rd.
Like you said, clear holding the ball. You don't reckon that was a little bit in the back?
Well, the players are very good now. As soon as they feel that, they dive forward. I think he actually went over the top of him. I think holding the ball, right decision.
Okay.
So Murdoch equals his career high. 3rd time he's kicked 3 in a match. And Cats stretch the lead again. Cripps out of the centre. That's an area that Carlton have really done well in this term. Kelly, Bell, back to Curnow. Selwood got him a little high. Everett slung off it. Well done, Curnow. Taylor got a hand in there. Gee, Selwood and Guthrie going for the same ball. Lang being terrific. Enright, well done. Stanley's quick. One bounce. And then going to full forward. Big chance for Clark. They're just monstering them in that area, aren't they?
Well, it's Hawkins on Simon White. Mitch Clark then.
That was Toohey.
Zach Toohey.
That's just too big, too strong.
Yeah, Lingy, Simon White's been coming on and off the ground. He was actually sick here just before. He's not too well, and that's the reason why Toohey has been completely outmatched there by the much taller Mitch Clark. So I think there's a bit of an issue here with Simon White.
Your eyes light up when you look at your opponent and you're 6'5".
Got about 10 kilos on him.
Got a goal in the opening term. So the leading goal kicker at the clubs this season so far. So Clark with a couple of first half goals. Geelong kick away.
Well, Matty Cruiser there sitting in the stands. I think got hurt again, or pulled up sore from last week. Why he's not playing tonight. Thought he was going to come back. Gee, it'd be great to see him back out there, regardless of what happens and where he ends up playing. If Carlton do anything with him, just want him to see him back playing AFL footy. Get a good run at it.
There's Selwood. Drives it inside the forward 50. Clark surrounded by Blues. Runs free at the back. Hawkins leads in the race. Armfield was early with the tackle. Motlop close to the boundary line. Tries to weave some magic and drives it into the goalpost. Toohey to himself. 29 points the margin. Cats on top. It's the biggest lead in the game. Now Toohey kicks into the oncoming player. I think it was Lang, and it ricochets out of bounds.
Great smother. I think it was Kirsten.
Yeah, Kirsten.
Terrific. He knew it was very clever because he knew Toohey had to come back on his right foot, and he went that way and got the smother.
So Clark had a bit of a crack at it. Judd and Caddy, Stanley. Clever handball, actually. Selwood will get a high tackle and a free kick.
Well, this is the one that's been debated all week about whether or not this is a high free kick, whether or not the player is ducking and getting under the tackle. This is the one where Selwood, rolls his shoulder. That onus is completely on the tackler. If you know that player's going to do that and is going to roll the arm up to get the high free kick, you've got to go lower. You've got to tackle him around the waist. You can't go high on him.
So Selwood, is it coming back? It's... Yeah, I think he's stuck it in for a goal. He has. You don't think he ducks at all?
No, I don't think he ducks. I think he actually bends at the knees and lifts that right arm. He's not like other players where they duck their head and shoulder into an oncoming player.
Wood, clean possession, sends it down towards half forward. Off hands, Thurlow goes after it. Coming up, Menzel, that was clever. Across to Tutt, hand passes to Thomas. Back to Tutt, goes with the left peg. On the lead, Casbolt, getting back with courage Enright. Thumped away by Thurlow and out of bounds. That kick from Tutt just hung in the air a little too long for the leading player. So the margin 36 points now. So for all the good work earlier, Carlton in a deep hole. Here's Gibbs, hooks it back. Rivers is down there, got a fist on it. Well played again against a bigger body, Jared Rivers. Casbolt, but moved him off the line. And now Thurlow's got it just over the minute remaining to half-time.
Tight to Kelly. Back to Thurlow. And Jones was looking the wrong way, but he's able to just sort of cut it off. Motlop's only had, well, that was a toe poke. This will be second kick in the opening half. Simpson's already had a career-high 4 contested marks. Tutt, 12 disposals in this first half. 13 make it. Curnow switches the handball, dangerous area. Now Yaron's got another gear. We know that. He's so confident, isn't he? But he makes you very nervous. Wood to White. A late goal would be handy for the Blues. White. Richo's talked about the fact that he's been physically ill for part of this first half. Doherty, good target, and finds Everett. Everett, good kick. Menzel, well done, Carlton.
Blues had spare players inside their forward 50 then. We saw Chris Scott put the headphones down and get up out of the coach's box. I reckon with a minute to go in the quarter, in the half, you don't try that kick. I know it's an inventive kick and it comes off fantastic, but I reckon you go safer. You go into half-time with the margin. Don't even give the opposition a chance to score a goal, which Troy Menzel now has.
They've been doing those all night. They've been going through the corridor to 50-50s all night, though, haven't they? And it's probably paid off for them, not on that occasion, though.
So he's kicked one goal. He missed a really easy one from the same angle, but much closer in. So can he give the Blues something at half-time? He's pushed it across. So that's been the story of their opening half a lot. So half-time here on the Friday night. Motlop's had a quiet one, but they're in a good spot. Geelong, they lead 11 goals to 5. It's 71-37.
As always, Cade Simpson leads all comers with 14 possessions to half-time, including 7 marks. Tutt's been busy as well. Jason Tutt has 13. The Geelong Blixarves 12. Thurlow, Kelly and Stokes all 11. So no standout there, really. Blixarve has been a very good player, though. It's not going to get you 30 normally, although who knows. There's Warnock, a late inclusion tonight, down towards half forward. The mark is taken there by Taylor. His side up by 34, goes towards half forward. Selwood went to ground, surrounded by Blues. Simpson, another possession. Yaron finds Murphy at right half back. 3 of the good players for the Blues there, Simpson, Yaron and Murphy. This has been their weapon tonight, to get it in Yaron's hands and for him to run and try and carry. Short kick to White. White hasn't been 100% physically.
Play on.
So Tui, good kick to Everett. Let's see what resolve Carlton have got here. Geelong's last halves have been ordinary this year. Third quarter's particularly poor. They've been outscored by over 20 goals in the last halves. Tutt, Dennis talked about his productive first half. Kicks to half forward. Front spot Casbolt. Taylor's done a terrific job on him, and Thurlow runs it out for a boundary throw-in.
Quite a patient build-up there by Carlton, just happy to use the ball, happy to kick mark around the ground, looking for that perfect target, then forced to go long. I think Harry Taylor would happily have it just dumped on the forward's head all day. He'll use his body. He's too smart for that.
Gibbs out of the congestion, down towards the forward pocket. High bounce, close to the boundary line. Thomas left it behind, showed courage, went back to try and win it. Murdoch, he's put at 3 goals tonight. Out of defence this time. Simpson misses the mark. Lang almost stopped, gave Simpson more time than he needed, and goes in short and finds Menzel, who's about 60 metres out from goal. Menzel takes something off this. Good courage by Murdoch, coming across in front of Bell, knocked it down. Guthrie has released this man Buse, who charges inside the centre square. Couple of bounces, runs past the centre circles, kicks inside the forward 50. Kirsten got a bad bounce, arriving quickly. Hawkins nonchalantly comes around on the left boot, and the kick bounces out of bounds in the forward pocket. He controlled it brilliantly.
Well, this bloke here has been gaining confidence all year. Jed Buse has played an important stopping role on the opposition small forwards, starting to run and carry the ball himself.
Carlton to Ed Kerno. To Ed Kerno. Holding. Yeah? Yes, yeah, there.
Well, that by-play continues.
Yeah.
Joel Selwood and Kerno. As we have a look. Well, Kerno takes his eyes off the ball when the ball comes in, but then Joel clearly frustrated and probably was a free kick in the end. But I'm not sure, Lingy, you tagged. You shouldn't be allowed to take your eyes off the ball when the ball's being thrown in and concentrate on the player.
No, that's right. You have to be switched on the footy. But at the moment, Joel Selwood's getting that frustrated. It's big wins to Ed Kerno. Joel's got to make sure he stays on the move so he doesn't get in those sorts of tangles.
Stanley just accelerated into the ball and measures the kick to Enright. It's well done. Enright with courage. He'll be the 3rd cat to play 300 in about a month's time to full forward. Well done, Everett, coming in from the side. Lang. It was Wood getting involved. Warnock, Menzel in the back half here, and it runs it over for a boundary throw-in. We'll find a bit more about Carlton here. Can they hang around here? Can they stay close enough? There's been a lot of talk tonight following the radio interview from the chief executive tonight, Stephen Trigg, with Michael Malthouse snapping their caddy, and it's a goal. So Geelong get the first goal after half-time.
We'll just have a look at this throw-in here. Just a short boundary throw-in from the umpire. Joel Selwood was the one who read it first. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt and we'll call it a hit down to Josh Caddy. It may have been a slight fumble, but we'll give him a hit out to an advantage.
Margin 40 points, Caddy. Involuntary action, got boot to ball. It worked out okay, though. Lang goes wide to Gregson. Nice balk right on the 50, sends it down towards full forward. Murphy goes back into unexplored territory, does well to White.
Shepard's been called, Dennis. Free kick to Josh Caddy.
Was that in the marking contest, or?
Yeah, against Zach Tui. I think a bit stiff here. I think he's just owned space in front of Josh Caddy.
Oh, no.
No, he did take his eyes off. That's what you talk about, Duck, even at the stoppages. As soon as you take your eyes off the ball.
Well, that's a free kick there. Why isn't Selwood getting free kicks when Kerno does that at a boundary throw-in? It's the same thing. It's a Shepherd.
It's all about the key indicators, isn't it? And he was looking very much at the player there. Good point, Duck. There goes the kick, and he slides it through. He's got 2 very quickly.
Well, Carlton are going one-on-one all over the ground. They've got a 7-man forward line, the Blues. What that allows the Cats to do is totally dictate how they line up inside their forward 50. And at the moment, it's Reece Stanley and his man and no one else inside 50.
Which was a great tap by Warnock. And Gibbs had an airy there. Murdoch having a good night. Kirsten, quiet. Doesn't get a lot of the ball, we know that. Caddy's had a good 3rd quarter. Simpson getting back. Hawkins didn't commit. He sort of corralled and Simpson able to get it out. Good kick. Thomas lively early. A couple of goals before half-time. Just uncertain. Just drew Motlop towards him, so he got a little bit extra. Wood and Warnock. Murdoch. Bell slung him down. Jones. Gibbs. Now Gibbs running hard.
Advantage!
Oh, poor kick, and I think everyone stopped for a moment when the whistle went. So Taylor able to mop it up, so that's a poor entry for the Blues.
Stokes gave it to Guthrie. On the overlap is Thurlow. Hawkins behind here, got a hand to it, couldn't hang on. Simpson been terrific. Curnow ditto, comes out wide. Now Yaron takes off. Touched there by Buse, who was coming hard, in trouble. Cripps. Yaron kept coming, sustained his run. Now a chance to get it to Casbolt. Brilliantly done by Caddy. Going with the flat of the football, got his left hand to the footy. Standing up, then breaking a tackle was Taylor to Caddy. Caddy's been everywhere in this term, and Stokes has got the football close to his defensive goal. So Caddy up to 15 possessions. Suddenly, that's a poor kick coming out though by the Cats. Jones, Tutt, or rather Armfield, puts it across towards Yaron. Yaron holding the ball. Advantage will be paid. Kelly, Motlop accelerates, has a bounce. Inside the centre square, runs out now. Looks down towards half forward. Clark won't get to it. Rowe played it okay. Intended for Tui. It's 3-on-1 though. Guthrie's got it. He's got 2 to choose from, and he goes out wide to Kelly. So James Kelly is about 35 metres out. No need for that. Just go back and kick the goal.
Well, it was a great run from Motlop off half-back, wasn't it? Whenever you get a player run off half-back, as we have a look at the example of, that was ducking the head. And that was a really good decision by the umpire not to pay that one. But, geez, it's exciting when Motlop gets the ball, isn't it? Didn't have a left foot for a very skillful player. Still not able to kick that ball on the left.
Hasn't kicked a goal since 2013. In he comes. Muscle memory won't help him, but he puts it straight through the middle. Nice stuff.
Well, it's looking like that might continue tonight. Could go 7-0 for Chris Scott. It's been a really good start to this third quarter. Exactly what Geelong needed to do in this third quarter. Don't even give Carlton a sniff.
Judd's had a quiet one, hasn't he? So Stanley, Menzel gets him, free kick.
On the ball, Carlton.
Good chase. So the Blues...
50 metres, you kicked it away from him. He was trying to pick it up. No.
So certainly the Curnow-Selwood clash continues. Joel giving a 50-metre penalty away. We saw earlier tonight when they got a double whammy at goal. So Menzel's been not so good at this part tonight. He's done some nice things, but his kicking's let him down. Heard from his brother at half-time. That's good.
Great tackle. Fantastic tackle by Troy Menzel.
Let's see if he can get this one home. He's missed a couple of pretty easy shots. Gets it. So a couple of goals for Menzel. So 2-2 to him, and Carlton get on the board in the third quarter. So Selwood again here. What happens?
Yeah, so Troy Menzel lays the tackle. Great tackle by on Reece Stanley. Have a look at this, Joel Selwood. He does kick this away. Just gives it the little kick. It's only a tiny thing. He would have meant that. That's on purpose, and he got busted for it. Just trying to knock it away, so Carlton couldn't play on quickly. So fair call by the umpire there for 50. And as you said, Bruce, Troy Menzel struggled a little bit in that first half with kicking for goal, but he's certainly been involved in the game. He's had those shots at goal. He's involved himself in all aspects of the game and finished well there.
Joel Selwood, 10 possessions so far in this one. Very frustrated, though. It hasn't had much effect on the game, if any, at all. Comes to Gibbs. Guthrie missed it. Curnow coughed it up. Selwood falling to the ground. Looking for Johnson. Murphy. Tackled by Lang. Free kick to the Carlton skipper. Started well. Has drifted out of the game. Just on the right wing. 89 plays 43. Comes out wide. Bell. Bill runs down towards half forward. A high ball inside the forward 50. Coming up is Enright. Coming back is Lonergan. Now cannoning into his back. It's going to be a free kick, I think, that Menzel. Play on's the call. Thomas has got it. Knocked away well. Well played by Murdoch. His pace a factor there. Stokes across to Thurlow. Thurlow fires one out towards the outer side. Kirsten in the grasp. Got a hand pass away. Gregson hurriedly bounces one inside the centre square. Selwood keeps the ball going. Goldwood as far as the Cats are concerned. Rather untidy hand pass. Guthrie lays a strong tackle. Bell's hand pass went up in the air. Stokes, Taylor, now Kelly with some poise. Goes back inside that centre square. Buse the short one. Almost an arrogant kick there. Gets onto the chest of Gregson. That's okay. Virtually one out up ahead though, so no reason to chip it around too much. Just move it quickly. Motlop drives it inside that centre square. Bell is getting back to be the extra number. Cruises past the pack, will be involved here. Simpson fires it across to Bell. Confronted over the top, Simpson. Now Murphy, deep in his own defensive area, feigns a hand pass. Rivers came at him. This ball bounces up towards the wing. Enright kept it in. Half volleyed there by Selwood, taken high, and he gets a free kick. And roughed up by Wood. Bad Wood.
Guys.
Oh.
Well,
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, that's a definite free kick. And he's showing a bit of aggression at the moment, Big Wood. But about 1 minute ago, there was a ball in the middle of the ground where Selwood and Wood went at it. And Selwood was the only one that wanted it.
And this is the really costly part of it. This is what you're talking about, Doug.
Yeah, have a look at this. Selwood, eyes on the footy. Well, he really didn't. He probably wasn't in the contest, but this is the
50, go another one.
and another 50. So this is 100 metres against Carlton here. You've made the mistake. You've given away the free kick, but this is ordinary. You don't want to be then giving away 100 metres. Ed Curnow's done a terrific job on Joel Selwood all night. You've now made it a certain goal to the Cat skipper. Get him involved in the game. That's just poor discipline.
You can see Wood on the bench and smoking. There goes the kick from Selwood, puts it through. This is a very ragged game now. Selwood's got 2 goals, 95 plays 43, and both sides having their moments.
Curnow's been running with Selwood, as we know, and there's been a lot of niggle there, but every time Selwood gets an opportunity, as we have a look at Big Wood roughing him up here, every time he's been going to Wood. Selwood's been going to just about every player on the ground, trying to stir them up. And the one thing you know about Joel is he will go at the footy. I mean, yes, he's been in a lot of niggle tonight. He's given away a couple of 50s, but when the ball's there to be won, he'll win it. And that's exactly what you have to do when you're the tallest bloke on the ground in Wood. So don't worry about that stuff. Go and get the footy when it needs to be got.
Well, you know one thing, Selwood's not going to take his eye off the ball.
Exactly.
Well, it gets worse, boys, for the Blues, because Bryce Gibbs, there's Big Wood, he's got steam coming out of his nose there and ears. Bryce Gibbs has gone down into the rooms. He's got a problem with his back down low, and he's gone down to the rooms with the doc.
Do you think he brought it into the game, Richo? He hasn't done a lot, has he? There's Murphy wide.
Well, I reckon his game's been upset with the inclusion of Warnock, because he didn't start in the ruck. He'd actually been really good.
No, I meant Gibbs. With the back.
Sorry, yeah, Gibbs. He looked really sore, Bruce. I'd be surprised if he comes back.
But do you feel like it's just happened on the field tonight, Richo? Or because he's had a subdued night, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has been subdued. He did come off. There was an incident just before he came off. He got a knock and he had it worked on. And Mackey's just come on as well as the sub now. So a bit of action down here.
Tempers are flared right now, aren't they? I mean, people are head-highing everywhere here. Armfield can spray them a bit. He was busy early. A really good first quarter and a half. He's struck that well. That's a great kick by Dennis Armfield, and Carlton get one back. So a little bit of niggle in this third term. I mean, Selwood and Curnow have been front and centre on all of it. They've been the core, haven't they?
And I don't mind that from Carlton. I don't mind a little bit of niggle. I don't mind being competitive. As Richo just said, Andrew Mackey's been subbed into the game for the Cats. Darcy Lang there with the red vest on is the man who comes off. But Carlton have got to do it in the right way. Dennis Armfield putting his head over the ball, drawing that free kick then is in the right way. Cameron Wood giving away a silly free kick, then a 100-metre penalty. I think the first one was against Wood, the next one against Yarran. That's the wrong way to do it. So back to the centre now. See some aggression in the contest from the Carlton players.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction. If you make it personal, suddenly the stakes become higher. Everyone buys into it. Guthrie, Caddy, the skill certainly with Geelong as Caddy has had a wonderful term, kicks it down inside the forward 50, jumping high was Tui. Gregson got him. Doherty confronted only as far as Murdoch, and Murdoch every chance to go back and kick his fourth.
Well, he's kicked the ball beautifully tonight, hasn't he? Has not looked like missing. So therefore he'll probably miss this one. Lingy will moz him, but
That's the way it works, isn't it?
he's a beautiful kick of the footy.
Goal here, and that'll be his personal best. Runs inside the 50. There you go. Registers a PB, and what a quick reply that is.
So the Cats in control in this term. It's been an explosive third quarter in lots of ways. So much talked about Carlton in the last few weeks. More tonight. Pre-match with Stephen Trick's comments about Michael Malthouse. Gee, Caddy and Guthrie ganged up brilliantly on Judd there. Caddy having a super third term. Hawkins just got underneath it. White couldn't find it between his legs. Gets down low, gets a high tackle, a free kick.
Bruce Buckley will come into the game. Gibbs will be out.
Thanks for that, Richo. So ball spread wide from Doherty. Just on, I know here's Buckley about to come on, so
I hope they persist with Dylan Buckley. The rest of the year, I just think give him more game time. He'll work his way into playing AFL footy. I love the fact he takes the game on. He's only a light build, but he's a brave player as well. He'll just get better every game he plays.
father and son, a lot talked about it this week. Well, two of the, I guess, lower profile father and son players, Buse for the Cats tonight and Buckley for Carlton, but so much talked about that through the week with the new system. Stanley, good tackle, Judd fetching for it, and ball not quite out, and it's a free kick holding the ball.
Carlton.
So Carlton get the free kick. So
Just holding it in. Go through, mate. Go through.
So Warnock plays it off immediately. Murphy cruising past, drives it down towards the wing, bounces in front of Wood. That was clever. Very well done. Bell kicks to space. Running back is Thomas. How will it sit for him? Mackie on the ground is closing. Got him now. Was that out on the full? It may have pitched on the chalk and gone out of bounds. So Mackie into the action and showing patience, born of experience there, just sitting on his man.
Nice touch by Cameron Wood over the top to Tom Bell. Clever play. Andrew Mackie only his second game for the season.
Wood clean possession. How will this bounce? Well, awkwardly as far as Jones was concerned. Trying to steal away with a Thurlow. Curnow. Tucked. Behind.
What's behind you?
So the Cats closing in on their highest score for the year. It's currently at 105. It's another game being played tonight off the field too, with a Carlton hierarchy, their chief executive and their coach, and there'll be a lot about that after the match. There's all sorts of rumours flying around this ground tonight about the immediate future of Michael Malthouse, a boundary throw. And one thing we know for sure is that the chief executive and the senior coach are not on the same page.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Generally spells trouble, doesn't it?
Third man, Everett, but he had the third man with him in Blitzer. Gee, Caddy's had a quarter, hasn't he? Blitzer switches it, creates a bit of space. Murdoch having probably the best game of his career with those 4 goals and some good run.
Clark too strong, missed the mark though. Spills out behind the pack. Doherty got boots the ball barely. Motlop, now Johnson gets into his move. The hand pass, more in hope. Trying to crash his way through was White. Cut. Well, he didn't need to try and kick that one. Maybe just forced it across the boundary. And Hawkins gets the ball. Caddy, 9 possessions, 3 clearances, 2 goals in this quarter. Bullocking quarter. Been very good. Well, not sure about that kick. Straight to Tutt. It comes short to Menzel. Menzel across half back. Needed a hand pass, not a kick. Ricochets to Guthrie. Guthrie to Johnson. Johnson runs himself into a dead end, but not before he got it to Gregson. Gregson goes across the face of goal, and Lonergan doesn't kick too many, although he started as a forward. Played in the grand final, starting at full forward.
Did he kick the first goal in the grand final one? I'm probably completely wrong anyway.
Come on, Bruce, was I there?
No, yeah.
Were we there?
Mate, look, if Josh hasn't got into my ear now, I'm definitely wrong, but...
Is that what he does? He gives you the silent treatment.
Did he kick the first, Josh? He did, in the grand final. And the last in the same one. We were there, didn't we?
Yeah, that's good. Josh is quietly spoken to, isn't he? Here's Lonergan. Kicks from about 40 metres out and steers it through. Old skills, eh? 107 plays 50 on Friday Night Football. So It blows out to almost 10 goals now.
Well, it is nearly that 10-goal margin, but there is still this battle going on. The Cats skipper and Ed Curnow. It's been fun to watch. They've certainly both been aggressive at each other. Ed Curnow doing a good job on Joel Selwood. He's only had the 13 possessions. A lot going off the ball. Joel Selwood trying to work his way into the game, but giving away free kicks like that one, getting very frustrated. Ed Curnow just so disciplined and so strong at what he does for the team.
Lingy, who was the one you tagged that used to get up you and drive you mad? Was there one in particular?
There was a lot.
Selwood's giving Curnow as much grief as Curnow's giving Selwood.
Yeah, I used to have a good battle with Simon Black, and he was always the hardest one to stop because he was just so competitive. He never gave up, exactly like Joel Selwood is right now. Always stayed in the game and trying to involve himself and get the footy.
We talked a bit about the Cats before the game. Duncan being out, probably behind Selwood, the best player for the Cats this year. Caddy, Guthrie and these guys, Murdoch, all stepping up in the absence.
Yeah, no, it's been a big night for them.
Yep.
Here's White, got it from Tutt, who got it from Everett. Back it comes to Tutt. Blexarves. What a strong tackle. And the umpire says no chance to get rid of it. Just going back to Selwood, though, that one we saw on replay moments ago, I think you would have thought it was worth the price of admission. It ended well, not for the man underneath, but for Selwood. Some satisfaction gain. There's Judd, meantime. Curnow, heart and soul of this team in many respects. Has a bounce, kicks it down towards half forward, in from the side, Lonigan. Well, Ian Rivers messed it up as it turned out. Jones hooks it down towards full forward. Menzel just wide of him. Gathers it. Can he get away from Buse? Not quite. Hot one comes out to Mackey. Mackey across the body. Judd couldn't reach it. Tutt goes to Judd, or is it Yaron? It's Yaron close to the boundary. Same Barber. Warnock.
Well, here he goes again. Yaron doesn't get a lot of work, that Barber. Kicks to full forward. And Wood. Free kick.
Carlton.
So
Menzel, free kick.
Blues, Menzel's going to kick a third goal here. So Menzel talked about his effort tonight. He's been front and centre a bit. He's taken a mark or two. And
well, that's first and foremost as we see why the free kick and push against James Kelly clearly there. Joel Selwood can't get so frustrated that he gets himself reported tonight.
So Menzel equals his career high with a third goal. Sam Doherty getting amongst the presto. So good movie, Captain Phillips.
I don't even know what that one is, Bruce. I'm going to have to search that one.
Well, the ship didn't sink, unlike Carlton. There's Blexarves out of the middle, potentially, of course, as the ball bounces inside the forward 50. Simpson. Now Doherty. Slips a hand pass away to Murphy. Murphy, untidy looking kick. It bounces down towards half forward. Well done by Taylor. Thurlow, they couldn't keep it in. It was pretty tight for the Cats there, and we've got a boundary throw in. Under 5 minutes, still three-quarter time. It's 107-54.
Captain leaves the ship, and Captain Phillips. So hope it's not a sign for Doherty here. Guthrie, Murphy. What about Johnson tonight, guys? We've talked about Guthrie, Caddy, and Murdoch. You talked about Stevie J pre-match. How's he gone?
Look, he hasn't had a lot of the ball. He's had the 10 possessions, but I've liked the fact that he hasn't brought his trick bag tonight. Yep. He's been reasonably clean, but hasn't had a lot of the footy.
Yep. I think he's been okay. Hasn't set the world on fire. Carlton a chance here.
So Mackey, Thomas just gets rid of him. Can't find the footy though. Rivers stands up well. Rivers, he's been excellent. Oh yeah, Mackey, Taylor, and then back to Stokes at half back.
Sends a high one out towards the wing. Taylor made for Simpson.
Play on.
So much of the footy tonight. Comes back inside the centre square. Murphy copped one, not high, said the umpire. And just as well, Murphy battles after the football. Hawkins on top of him, and the umpire calls for it. Courage by the little man. No other way.
Very courageous by Mark Murphy. Steve Johnson choosing to bump. That's that close one, isn't it? If Johnson makes contact with his head, he's probably missing a few weeks there, but got him on the shoulder.
Everett.
And Mark Murphy stood strong.
Quick hands to Doherty, falling to the ground, Hawkins. Now the hand pass comes back towards half forward from Johnson. Stokes concedes some ground to Mackey. Mackey 3-on-1 down there.
Hold the man.
It's going to be a free kick. It'll go to Kirsten, but there were 2 Cats behind where the ball was headed. So Kirsten, from about 20 metres out directly in front, should kick another one for Geelong.
And that handball by Stevie J, it was clean. It was out into space. He didn't muck around with it. He didn't dodge. He didn't weave. It was the first option, straight into space. I love it when he's got to get back to that. When he gets back to that, he'll be back to his best.
Kirsten, will he become the 12th goal kicker for the Cats? He puts it through.
Well, it's a well-timed bump from Stevie J. As I said, it's a fine line these days. If you choose to bump and you make any contact with the head, you're in a world of trouble. But Johnson there executing the perfect bump on Murphy, not getting him head high. Murphy was strong in that contest, though. I like to see that.
Good tap by Stanley. Cripps has been quiet. Murphy pretty good. Had that quiet patch after the good start, but had a reasonable quarter. Blitzars. Here is Johnson again. So Johnson to full forward. Hawkins at the back. Front spot Kirsten. Nearly a toe poke, not quite. Murdoch's already kicked 4. Guthrie's been terrific all night. Draws a couple of tacklers. Ball up. So Geelong already at their best and biggest score for the year.
Again, Duck, that's what you wanted from Johnson, wasn't it? He could have done tried to do something extra creative there, but just went long and deep, gave his forwards a chance.
Clark battles with Wood. Wood won it down. Caddy in trouble. Well, how did he do that? Johnson! Was it touched? Apparently. That was terrific by Doherty. Throwing himself at the footy and getting his fingertips to it. And then resourceful enough to kick it to himself and bring it in quickly. Tui, can they build from the back here? Yaron steps around Kirsten twice. Little encore, goes back towards the middle. Taken by Thomas. They've got runners to the outer side. Everett takes off. Simpson's got it now. Everett will get it on the wing. Now back towards the middle. Buckley presents. That's ignored, though. And the short one comes to Casbolt, who hasn't been a factor tonight.
No, he's had a quiet night, hasn't he? Judd's been quiet as well. Actually, Judd and Selwood have close to 50 each. 30 disposal games in their careers, but neither Joel Selwood or Chris Judd have had 30 against their opponents tonight, which is quite remarkable, actually, considering how many games they've played. So, quiet night for Juddy. Menzel to full forward. Well done, Cripps that time against Thurlow. 2 young guns together. Back to Casbolt. Casbolt's got 3 against him. Buser's terrific. Gregson, Murdoch gets away from Tutt. And here's Johnson again. He must have heard of Stevie J, I reckon. He's had about 4 or 5 good disposals since then. Here's Caddy. Back we go. Blitzarves off a step. Oh, gee, Murdoch searching and now in trouble, I think.
Best thing that happened was he lost the ball.
Thanks, Mark.
Not sure if I got caught in the lights, but just here, it was like he didn't know what to do with it.
Wood off balance. Wanders towards the pocket. Everett turns into a tackle. Gregson got him. Buckley goes with the outside of the boot. And Kelly in the opposite pocket tidies up for the Cats. 114 plays 56, dying seconds of the third term. Here's Murdoch. 4 goals alongside his name. Thinks about going across goal. Now takes the more conventional route. Comes along the line. Pushed in the back, surely Hawkins. Well, not much to be gained by that.
I think that was a case from Simon White of, oh, Hawk's going to mark this one anyway. I'll just give him a big shove in the back. He's battled away manfully, though, White. He's been hopelessly undersized against Hawkins and outstrength, but he's continued to fight right to the end.
Good half volley by Kelly. He and Hawkins, 2 of the 3 that came back into the team. And Murdoch kicking the ball down the line. So a terrific quarter for the Cats. They're in a cosy spot at half-time. They're in an unassailable position now. So more than double the score and some. So 114-56 on a Friday night at Etihad. Geelong over Carlton. And have kicked away, so a 7-goal-3, and it's 18-8. It's 114-56 at three-quarter time.
Presto, May 29.
Yeah, so start your free 30-day trial from today for Aquarius. Richo, down to you at three-quarter time.
Yeah, just having a look at the Carlton huddle here now. Bruce, and Bryce Gibbs has not reappeared after he injured his back in that third quarter. He came off the ground. He was complaining about pain in his lower back. It was down on the right side. He went down to the rooms with the doc. He hasn't come back out yet, so he's obviously got a fairly serious issue with his back at the moment. We'll keep you updated if we hear any more.
That's the last thing they need.
You could just see him at the back there, Gibbs. He's struggling with that back.
Just really struggling. They need their quality out there, and Bryce Gibbs is certainly that. Best and fairest winner at the club. And hopefully that back issue is not too bad, because they need all troops on board to fight their way back from a dire position this season. Some of the hierarchy chatting about it. Obviously a lot going on off the field as well as on the field, and not all positive, not much positive.
Margin 58 points as we start this final term on Friday Night Football. Stanley on the way down, first hand to it. Blixarves flicks it over the back, goes and foxes it. Gregson paddles it inside the forward 50. Armfield's got him. Gregson to no one in particular. Johnson arrived quickly though. Guthrie across to Selwood. Guess who got him? Curnow. Wonderful.
Well done, Ed Curnow. He's doing a terrific job on Joel Selwood tonight. Kept Selwood to just the 13 disposals and not much impact. Well, this was just desperation. His team's not going to win tonight, but he's going to keep doing his job as best he possibly can.
Curnow out of defence then.
He was the one that spoke to the players after the match last week with the disappointment at GWS, and he's held his end up again tonight. Stanley, Stokes, careful kick, a good kick to Kirsten. Got a goal in the third quarter. Neat kick.
50, you've just pushed him, he's marked the push. There's no attempt on the ball, you've gone and pushed him.
So Caddy here, it's been terrific, Caddy. Yaron's interesting, he's ill-tempered at the moment. He's playing some good footy, got reported 3 weeks earlier. He's just playing with an ill temper, I feel. Caddy, so 3 goals after half-time. Might be in your top 5, I reckon, Duck.
Margin 64 points then as we start this final term. Good bounce. Warnock, a late inclusion tonight onto the head of Cripps. Bounce back to Warnock, taken though by Stanley. Blixarves, so mobile. Kelly up on his toes. Motlop, Blixarves. And now Lonergan in space. Comes to Mackey. Good to see him back. Hasn't played since round 2. Looks down towards half forward. High ball in that direction. Hawkins. Well, he located the man first, then the football. He's 55 metres out, sends it long down towards the goal square. Caddy battles with Tui. Umpire let them go. Tut. Looking for himself, I think, and the ball bounces out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
Did I just see a barrel from Tom Hawkins then, Dan?
It was a barrel, all right. That's your chaos ball, Dan.
The chaos ball.
Just get it in there with a bit of chaos.
Good tactics. Ball's knocked out of bounds. He didn't get onto it, I gather, though.
Is it just me, or have there been a few short throw-ins as we have a look at Tom Hawkins? That's a low barrel too, isn't it?
Tossed in Warnock, Stanley, Blixarves. He's like a rover. Johnson, Gregson outside the 50. Close the eyes, barely the 15. Enright's got it. And the umpire. And this one driven in long towards full forward.
Rowe did pretty well against Kirsten. And a boundary throw-in. Underman Carlton at the back. We know Jamison's out there, key defender. Henderson not playing. He's the swing man. There's been the big battle of the night.
I like Sam Rowe as a defender. I think he'll turn into a very good key back for the Blues.
Stanley laid it down really well. Blitzer's good tackle by Cripps. Yaron getting in hard and ducking and weaving and maybe getting a high one, but he ducked the head down, so ball up. Another interesting night for Chris Yaron. Some terrific stuff. That's the one you're talking about?
That's the one I'm talking about. Now, that is ducking, and that's a good decision by the umpire not to pay the free kick.
And that's the dangerous one, the leading with the head one.
Yep.
There's Motlop just outside the 50. Armfield, no way through. taken down.
I'd like to see that one where you lead with the head, paid as a holding the ball against the bloke who's leading with his head, because just to stop it, because it's such a dangerous one. Somebody will get seriously hurt doing it.
Wood got it from Cripps. Armfield. Yarran across the ground. Doherty. A bit like Curnow, through all of this carnage, he can hold his head up high. There's Tui. Not just talking about tonight either. Tui runs up towards half-back, untidy at the feet of White. Goes looking for Jones, who reaches over the top of Enright and takes a good grab. Down towards left half forward.
Kicks to the pocket, not well directed. And the Cats. Rivers is reading it so well, isn't he?
He's marking the ball better than I've seen him mark it throughout his entire career. Reading it, as you said, and intercepting. Becoming a really important player in that Geelong back six.
He was a rising star so many years ago, wasn't he, at Melbourne? And 150 games for the D's. Murdoch kicks to centre wing. Well done by Clark to Motlop, and then Motlop hugging the line, and he's kicked it out. Not his biggest night, Motlop.
No, as Richo said earlier, Dennis Arnfield doing an important role on Stevie Motlop. He's only had the 9 disposals and hasn't had the impact we know he can have in a game. So there's a couple of blokes, we talk about the Carlton players, a couple of blokes who've really committed to their roles and done a good job. Ed Curnow's been the big one tonight on Selwood, but Arnfield as well on Stevie Motlop, a dangerous player.
Tui, a couple of bounces. Stops, comes back towards half-back. Taken by Bill. Simpson is on, thought about it. Now goes straight up the middle. Jones on a searching lead does well. Hits the ground running. Looks towards half forward. A high ball. 2 big guys down there. If this hits the deck, they're in trouble. Taylor bounces it out of defence. Murdoch, all the time in the world. Johnson could have almost got a free kick. Plays on inside the centre square. Kirsten had it thumped away by a defiant Doherty. Rowe, bit slick there for Simpson. Off balance to Doherty. Accelerates away, goes to the outer side. They've got problems here. Enright intent on getting it on the ground. Well done by Menzel. Over the top to Tutt. Tutt's tried hard. Runs around that outer side wing towards half forward. Thomas rarely called his name.
Yeah, did a bit early, didn't he, with a couple of first half goals, but oh, that's a poor kick off the back step. Just on the Cats, I've got just something in the back of my mind I want to ask you about with their list. So Stokes got it from Taylor. Thurlow shows a bit of the ball, but it's a good kick to Kirsten. Motlop short, and Daniel Menzel reminded me of it at half-time, so interviewed by Richo. Hasn't played, what, for 3 seasons? 21 games, Daniel Menzel, in 6 years. Nathan Vardy, 21 games in 6 years. Josh Cowan, 1 game in 4. I mean, they've had 3 guys on the list that haven't played any footy. That must be hard to carry for a club.
Yeah, three at one time, as you said, who've hardly played any footy at all. I think they see them all as such talented players. They don't want to risk losing them, putting all that work in and somebody else cashing in on it and want to persist with them. But it's a lot to carry on the list at any one time, Bruce, you're right.
So Buckley at centre wing.
Carlton have lost their whole forward structure here. This is Casbolt and Jones. They have to be down there for this next kick from Buckley.
And there is the kick. Looking maybe forever, but he's just completely outnumbered and outclassed in the end in that situation. So Lonergan.
Play on. Play on.
Thurlow to Johnson, not 15. Murdoch, Johnson, Motlop, cross half back, breaks away. Too tall for Gregson. Low down. Wood fires a hand pass to Armfield, to Buckley. Buckley 75 metres out. That's better. Lowers the eyes, and Bell, who's a thumping kick, has taken this mark 40 metres from goal and needs to take a shot.
Well, he's kicked the 10 goals already this year. It wasn't a pretty passage of play from Geelong, just turning the ball over back to Carlton. And this time, as Richo said, they had lost their forward structure, but this time they were smart enough to lower their eyes, get it in to that short, uncontested mark, set up a set shot at goal for Tom Bell.
Leading goal kicker this season, Tom Bell, with 10. Tells you everything you need to know. Make that 11. Has got the carry. Oh, not quite. Stanley right on the goal line, just helps it across. Interesting, Geelong coming into tonight We think of them as a free scoring team, but only 80 goals this year. The West Coast Eagles, 113. That's a remarkable figure. And Carlton less than 80. Started the night, I think, 75. Push out, was it? No. Yaron's got the ball.
And then off a step to the pocket to Bell. It didn't. Geelong were averaging 11.4 goals a match prior to tonight, and Carlton 10.7. So in that area, there was very little between the two teams. But they've got off the leash tonight, have the Cats.
And a couple of players who you said haven't had big seasons so far, Murdoch and Caddy, kicking 7 between them. That's why they've been able to hit the scoreboard a bit more often.
Begs the question, can they play finals footy? They've got a long run of consecutive finals. They've matched Collingwood for the most number of consecutive finals in the 2000s. Doherty can't get it out. So 8 consecutive years is the record in the 2000s. Both Collingwood, who had that broken last year, Geelong is sitting on 8 at the moment. I think Hawthorn on 5 at the moment in Sydney. So it's hard to do, and the Cats are on the edge this year, aren't they?
Yep, they are, definitely. They're in that middle batch that could possibly make it, but could quite as easily just miss out.
Yaron short, Blixarves.
Right there.
Up to 21 possessions now. His career high is 27. I said perhaps not a 30-man, but it's only a matter of time. Taylor. Wayne made the comparison to Jim Steins before the game, and as rich as that sounds, Blixarves is really something else. Talk about adapting to the game that he came to late. Here's Mackey going down towards half forward. Lonigan gets behind Menzel and is simply too tall and runs away. On the lead is Clark. It won't get there on the full though. Goes after the half volley, ushered across the line by Rowe.
Yeah, that was a good article today, Duggan. Those numbers of Steins, I didn't realise how big they were. Amazing, weren't they?
He was a great player, wasn't he? Blixarves all of a sudden just knows where to run. I think they've found the right position for him. Playing as a follow-up really suits him.
I think it was 25.9 or something you quoted for Steins, averaging over the year in his Brownlow year. It's remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit better than the ruckman these days, Doug.
So Simpson, he's had a good night.
They have 26 hit-outs.
Here's White. Judd, just a quiet one for Judd. He's had a solid season. You know, after tonight, Joel Sherwood would have won exactly the same number of matches as Chris Judd, 151. Now, Juddy's played about 80 more matches, so both would have had 151 wins. Joel's been in a remarkable period because Juddy's had a fair bit of success. Jones to Buckley, Buckley to full forward, Menzel letting it bounce and gets a career high 4.
Duck, this is the old one when you just think, oh, should I let it go? Oh, no, I'll just pinch that one. I'll get myself 4 for the night.
You've got to take that one. You never know, there could be a diving defender behind you.
And you give your teammate a little token wave and say, sorry, mate.
57 points the margin. Voices of experience right there. And there goes Simpson across the ground to Tutt. I'd like his game, Tutt.
Lingy missed one from that far out.
Yes, Richo, you are correct.
There's Buckley. He's inviting trouble, Richo. There goes the kick deep into the forward 50. Reaching over the top, Thurlow. Lurking behind Lonigan. Thurlow. He's going to be a player. Playing with more confidence these days. Short one comes across the face of goal. Mackey got it from Johnson to Murdoch. Murdoch is booted 4. Well, that's an interesting kick. Cripps didn't take the mark. Heard the voice, knew where the help was, to Armfield. Buckley, Curnow. Now, the umpire says no advantage.
You can't do advantage from there, mate.
Armfield free kick.
So back to Dennis Armfield.
The reason no advantage can be paid is because it was paid by the umpire outside of the area, so they have to bring it back. Joel Selwood involved again. He's been involved in a few free kicks to the Blues. Tough night for him. Ed Curnow's been very good.
Thomas. And then kicks to the pocket. Jones backing back. Did well there, Jones. Just got it out. Menzel. He's having a pretty big night in the end in a team that's getting whacked. To full forward, Blitzarves, Everett. Blitzarves takes the mark.
It's a mark.
He is something, isn't he? We always think of him as a steeplechase. He's actually a 1,500-metre runner that went to the steeple very late because that was his best chance of getting through to the Olympics. But he could do anything. We might see him in Rio next year.
Well, if he stays healthy, he'll be remembered as a footballer and not an athlete.
Yep.
Free kick on the outer side to Kirsten as the clock continues to run. Just under 10 minutes remaining. Kirsten, left half back, looks down towards half forward. He can kick it sweetly. In front, White grazes his knuckles. Dangerous ball behind now. Hawkins creeps up on the footy, still going, battling against three. Armfielders trying hard tonight without finesse. And that tells you the story. Threw it on the boot. The mark is taken by Murdoch inside the centre circles. Murdoch over the head of Stokes. Off the fingertips of Murphy. Yaron comes away. Force feeds Buckley. Buckley goes out wide. Now Menzel. He's booted 4. Blixards.
Just cutting it across. He's getting close to that career high. Murdoch, by the way, is way past his previous high of 20 disposals. So they're having some big nights, a couple of these cats. Thurlow, Guthrie. So good early, Guthrie, wasn't he?
Yeah, had the job on Chris Judd and did an excellent one at that.
Johnson. Taylor off a step. Good kick, well weighted. Courage from Buse. And from Simpson. Stokes doing the team thing. Good kick. And then Clark just holding his ground so Kirsten can take the easy mark.
Blixarves has done just about everything, hasn't he? He's won the ball around the ground, just took a mark in the defensive 50, and he's had Everett pretty much following him around, and Everett had a very good year last year following players around. Not so tonight.
Geelong are 15 goals, 2 from set shots tonight. That's impressive. Can Kirsten get a second goal here? Make it 16-2, and he does.
Talking about their misses, Tom Hawkins was the man who missed them both in the space of a couple of minutes. So apart from that minor blemish, they've been perfect. Clark waits, goes after his own ball.
Man, Geelong, Selwood.
So he's being held, Selwood. It'll come back to him. Selwood coming up to his 15th possession, but honours to Curnow tonight. Curnow has been superb in what's been a disappointing performance overall. Curnow with 16 possessions. High ball inside the forward 50. It'll be a free kick to the Blues here. And Warnock was pushed in the back. Murphy in and out of trouble. Goes back to Simpson. He's up from the back pocket. Now he's a left footer. Gets on his left side. Short one finds Jones. Made to earn it by Harry.
Warnock getting that free kick before. I'm perplexed by that move, that late change. Warnock coming in for Andy Carazzo. Didn't make sense to me then. Doesn't make it to me now.
Thurlow up from the Bell kick. Blixarves racking them up. What's he got now? 24. Personal best 27. Murdoch to Selwood. Selwood short. Tui read it well off the boot. Yaron alongside the centre circles. Takes them on. Yaron gets through too, but the hand pass untidy, although it bounced obligingly for Tui. Tui's in trouble. Could have almost been holding the ball. Across to Thomas. Thomas sends it down towards full forward. Blixarves!
Say it, Mark! Mark, come out! Thank you.
Oh, Mark with the mark.
He's not out-marking Jared Ruffhead back there, but I tell you what, he's so impressive.
Don't be a killjoy.
Oh, he's fantastic. I love him. He's become our, next to Nat Fyfe, he's our second favourite player in the comp right now, isn't he?
I'm not sure about that.
Short to Johnson. And then Johnson. And Duck, you're so right about Stevie J. Every time he's got the ball, he's quickly moved it on, hasn't he? He's kept it simple. Done the old kiss tonight.
Yep.
Guthrie running so hard, all opening up. Kirsten with a couple of goals. Now, here's a good kick. Let's see if he can find a target. And he does. The biggest win ever by the Cats over the Blues was way back in 2007. Varco and Hawkins made their debut that day. It was 78 points. Joel Selwood was playing his second game. It was round 2, 2007. That was a 78-point win. That's the biggest ever. So Stephen Trigg there on the left. Mark Stevens will speak to Stephen Trigg, the CEO, in the post-match tonight. Stephen Trigg having a conversation on radio tonight probably inflaming the situation with his coach, Michael Malthouse. So Stanley gets the goal.
Well, they get themselves square with the legend tonight. They'll go 4-4. A good tough run, though. A couple of definitely winnable ones. Travelling, though, twice with West Coast and Port Adelaide makes it harder. But they are building their season, Geelong.
Wood off the ground, down towards half forward. Rivers, Hughes, Mackey, quick thinking. Johnson comes away, goes out very wide. Blixarbs again. What's that? 26 towards the pocket. Hawkins goes up, fingertips to it, and he can't claim it. So 13 goal kickers for the Cats tonight. So busy. There's a famous face. The Carlton man wouldn't be happy with this. 30
rough
goal
things
kickers.
up, wouldn't he? If he was out there.
He'd love to be standing Joel Selwood, wouldn't he?
Yes, hurried kick from Johnson. Oh, right on the line. Was it touched? I think it might have been. Might get a replay here.
Behind. I want to confirm the ball was touched before the line.
This shouldn't take long. Johnson has kicked the goal. I was talking about the 13 goal kickers. Fully expect Doug Wade to appear on the list before this night is over.
Review underway.
Might have been touched by his teammate there. Tom Hawkins' fingers bend back.
I'll give you the heads up before you go.
It's not overly
complete. Confirm behind.
133 plays 63, so the margin's 70.
So a few points shy of that all-time record winning margin. Tui ran a long way in the end. Simpson, so much of the ball, a lot of contested marks in the first half. Judd worked under it by Enright, a bit of experience there. Cripps, Murphy, Cripps. Get out of it here. Casbolt's been quiet. He really hasn't split a pack and taken a big mark tonight, has he? Back to Cripps. It's going to be a fine play.
Yeah, Cripps is one for Carlton fans to get excited about. He's got a big future.
Murphy. Well, that kick, he was looking for the run-on from Tubb, but Lonigan comfortably. So Clark going back. Taylor's been supreme. Talking about the Cats getting their season together. They've only lost to Hawthorn, Fremantle, North and Sydney. I mean, they're good teams. It's taken a good team to beat them this year.
Rivers has got it. Short to Kelly. Where's Blixarbs? Nowhere to be seen. Kelly, short.
He's on the next one.
Thurlow. Oh, yes, he is too. Move it on, move it on.
He's taken 5 intercept marks tonight, 4 of those in the last quarter. I know we're raving about him, but
what is Thurlow thinking?
He's been exciting.
Well, this is no good. Rivers goes short to Lonigan.
He never looks tired either, Doug. He's running around down here in front of you now. Wouldn't blow a candle out. Makes you sick, doesn't it?
I think the old call at North Melbourne, just kick it to Carey, kick it to Blixarbs. Here's a right half back. High ball. While Hawkins got hands to it. Selwood hit the ball hard, drives it inside the forward 50. Stanley from the exact same position. He kicked the goal about 3 or 4 minutes ago. Centering ball on the lead, Clark. Nice work.
He's really building into his year, Stanley, isn't he? I think he's been terrific. Started slowly, but it's been a really good last few weeks, I think, for Stanley.
It has, and as you said before, Doug, a ruckman who can get forward, can be dangerous when he is forward. He's kicked a goal tonight. He set up another one there for Mitch Clark.
Stanley was a bold pick too, wasn't he, by Geelong? I mean, you got the feeling St Kilda had almost lost faith. And here's Clark. Another one of their summer pickups comes in, kicks truly, or does he? It's working back nicely, puts it through. He's got 3. Well done by Mitch Clark.
Mick Malthouse, the games to come, doesn't get any easier next week against the Swans at the SCG.
No, and then obviously Adelaide, they've got an easy one there with the bye. That's about as easy it's going to get for the Blues, unfortunately.
That's where they can rest up for 1 week.
Exactly.
I'll give them one
That's
tip.
a guaranteed win, that one.
Was that bye or goodbye?
Your top 4, Doug, you've given Ed Curnow.
Yeah, there you go. Obviously, Caddy, Murdoch, Blitz halves, and Curnow has been terrific on Selwood. That's been a great contest. Some may argue, you know, is it fair? There's been times where I think you've got to be facing the ball, but at the end of the day, it's probably one of the tougher assignments in footy to stop the captain of Geelong.
Count 3 to Johnson. Casbolt goes back. Murdoch, breakout game tonight. Stokes in trouble. Throw. Carlton ball. So under 2 minutes now.
I will give a tip to the Carlton team playing Sydney next week, who are absolutely fierce at the contest. Shocking kick by Kade Simpson, but they are going to need to go into that game and have more than 34 tackles. That's just not enough in a game of AFL footy, and Geelong have made them pay.
I don't think shocking was good enough to cover that, Cam. Try again.
Deplorable?
Deplorable. I like deplorable. There's the short one to Stokes. Kade Simpson, well, he's got reason to be tired, I guess. He's done a lot of running around in defence, but by his lofty standards.
I'll go easy on Kade Simpson. He just continues to work as hard as he can.
High ball from Stokes. In from the side, almost caddy. Not quite. White emerges with it and just slams it on the boot. It's coming back, though. Taylor, Rivers. Having a fine season. We've said that a few times, Jared Rivers. Kick goes back from Lonigan. Thurlow. Just shadow boxing now.
Defenders are having a bit of fun here, just racking up a few numbers.
Yeah.
Bit of junk time.
Now Murdoch. Can he do the trip here, Cam?
Well, if only they knew that they're 1 goal away from their biggest win ever.
This is just a bit too far out, this one, though, I think, Bruce, for Murdoch. He's been great tonight, though. Kicked the 4 goals.
Had career-high disposals, career-high goals. He's got a long leg. This will be their biggest win ever over the Blues if he can dob it. And he hasn't done that, so it's a behind. So 216 times these two teams have played. It's the 2nd biggest win ever they've had. So it says probably more about Carlton and Geelong, I think, tonight, again. So 70-point losses are becoming the norm for the Blues. Collingwood, GWS, and again tonight. And it's been another tough night for Carlton. A good win for the Cats. They're going to go to 4-4, press up maybe towards the 8. So Geelong win. It's their 2nd greatest winning margin against Carlton. No joy for Michael Malthouse. For Chris Scott, they square the ledger. For Joel Selwood, a night to remember. Mark Blitzer's outstanding along with Caddy. They were good, the Cats. They were so accurate. Set shots for goal. Big effort for Curnow. We've talked a lot about him. That's good.
Yep.
Selwood and Curnow together there.
Always shake hands at the end of the game.
Richo's getting amongst it down there. I think he might be with the guy that Matty's had career highs left, right and centre tonight.
Yeah, he has, Jordan. Congratulations. You've had a really good game yourself, career highs in a lot of areas. Did you feel like you guys needed to step up tonight with Duncan going out?
Yeah, exactly. With a good guy like Dunk's coming out, you have people who need to take the opportunities. We need to function well as a side, so it was just great that everyone played their role, and it was a really good win for the club.
It certainly did play their role. I think you had 12 goal kickers tonight, and that's always a positive when you can do that. Exactly. We have the 2 big forwards, as you know, but if the little guys can get involved, it's great for the team. And mate, you kicked the 4 goals, lining up for your 5th there. Just couldn't quite get it through.
Didn't have the seam left in the legs, so just a bit of a shank in the end, but no, it was good.
What about Mark Blitzas? He's outstanding again tonight. Are you guys in awe of the improvement he's shown this year?
He's just a freak. He's just awesome the way he goes about it. He's always wanted to learn, and ever since he got to the club, and he really is a good template for any young footballers having a look.
Yeah, he certainly is. Well done, Jordan.
Not a problem. Thanks, Richard. Cheers, mate.
Thanks.
Gee, that's it. Well done. This is interesting. So Juddy swapping jumpers with Cam Guthrie.
I can only assume Cam Guthrie's asked for that.
Yeah.
He's a different thinker, Cam Guthrie, but he obviously respects Chris Judd highly. But You don't see that, and Chris Judd looks a bit bewildered too. But
I wonder if Juddy wanted a 29 from Geelong. That was Gazza Ravlich's number, wasn't it? And of course, Guthrie didn't go to the long sleeve tonight either in the second half.
No.
Just quickly as Carlton go off, I just want to ask about Geelong. There's Michael Malthouse. Stephen Trigg will be talking to Mark Stevens shortly. It's been another tough night. There's Juddy with that number 29. Just one word about the Cats. Do you feel like we're sort of changing the guard a bit tonight with the emergence again of Murdoch? Caddy stepped up, Guthrie.
Blixarves, all of those guys. I think they are. I mean, there's no longer. I think the last few weeks, especially, no longer reliance on their star players.
Yep. And solid, professional, quality game by those players that you're talking about. They got the job done. Carlton were pretty ordinary, but they still had to go out and do the job they were there to do.
So a good night for Geelong, but probably a bigger story is the Blues. After the break, Mark Stevens will be talking to Stephen Trigg, the Chief Executive, and you'll hear the Geelong song right after this.
Friday night football absolutely owned by the Geelong Football Club. 6 of the first 7 goals. Joel Selwood had a quiet night, but it didn't bother Geelong. They were dominant, 77-point winners in the end. Fast start,